Hey, just an update about Jarvis, and if you have been following my channel, you realize that I've been using Jarvis for 2 weeks. Jack Wong here. In this video, what I'm going to share with you is something that is very crazy because that is talking about a Jarvis certification program. Now, how do I know this certification program to start with? It is because if you have been following my channel, you know that Jarvis is actually a copywriting artificial intelligence tool. And what is happening is that it allows users to generate literally any written copies under the sun, whether you are using it for Facebook ad, Google ad, GMB, Google My Business I mean, or you may be doing a Pinterest post or set up a poll. Like there's so many things you can do. So one thing I noticed is, with so many tools that are available under this program, the question is that are you able to, in practice, utilizing every single one of them? There are literally over 50 plus templates. And of course, each person when they use Jarvis has a different objective. So I'm not going to use Jarvis to run any or to create any ad copy because I have my team to do that. I would most likely use Jarvis, as I've been doing this, use the long form assistant to create articles for me, posted on LinkedIn and Medium. That's my primary purpose of using Jarvis. So I need you to go back to your own purpose and objective before you decide whether Jarvis is for you. Now I want to actually show you something pretty interesting. It is because what happened was that I've got on my dashboard Jarvis certified. So the first thing come to my mind is, interesting. So what does it get for me to be Jarvis certified? So I chance upon this on the Facebook announcement. So I think I'm able to show you a little bit, right? So let me turn on my Facebook and want to show you the Jarvis community. You'll see something. They said, hey, get Jarvis certified because there is a certificate. So are you happy? Are you excited about this? So there was a post just came out a couple of days ago, and people are getting crazy. So the first thing comes to your mind, does it mean that I have to pay for it? Does it mean that I have to pay for certification? Because there will be an electronic badge and the cert to be issued when the person has satisfied all the requirements. So the answer is no, you don't need to pay for it. The cert training is actually, it's not cert training. The certification process is free of charge. It's complimentary. However, you do need to do the work. I want to, in this video, explain how this works because it's not just about taking the exam, pass the exam and you are done. And I actually have gone through the exam, and the story about me was that I did the exam 2 days ago and I got query from the team yesterday about one of the requirements. So I just want in this video to go through the requirements carefully so that you know you won't fall in crack, because the approval process is it doesn't give you the approval once and for immediately. After you have submitted the exam, they will go to your account and go through the requirements to make sure you are actually there. Okay, so the cert program, if you are successfully completed the program, you will be able to get this cert, and you can actually get it as an electronic cert. There will be a URL which you can show it on your LinkedIn account. So for those who are using LinkedIn, congratulations, you have another certificate. I don't know how many you have. The question is that you have actually approved that you are Jarvis certified. Now, is it important? It is a demonstration that you know what you need to know in terms of using Jarvis, because there's so many things you need to know. It's not about, I know, some people argue that using the Microsoft Words argument is how many of you actually know 100% of the buttons in Microsoft Words? And we always love to say, hey, if we know about just 5% of the Microsoft Words keys, that is good enough for us, isn't it? Well, in the case of Jarvis certification, it's not really the case. I believe that you have to go through the whole process. You need to go through all the templates, in other words, all 50 plus templates, so that you do know that it is for you. Now, the first question that came to my mind is that if you are on Jarvis Standard or Pro package, are you able to get certified? The answer is it is not a requirement. However, one thing that you need to know is that you need to generate personally 20,000 words. They will actually check okay? And you need to show proof that you have done 20,000 words and above. So if you're on standard package, the thing is that you do get 20,000 words one month. For pro package, of course, you get more. So I believe that whether it's a standard package or pro package, it doesn't matter. However, as what we love to say, boss mode is a very logical package to use, because if you're writing articles, especially when you're writing long form articles, just like me, it will be surprising to tell you that when I look at my Jarvis, I've actually got over 70, 80,000. Like some people actually like very, very happily show off in the Facebook group that they have already had like 1 million words, okay, or even 500,000 words. I'm not there yet. I'm still at 5 figures. I believe next week I'll hit 5 figures or 6 figures. So right now I'm close to 70,000, 80,000 range. Depends on the articles that I'm writing later. So I may hit 80,000 range pretty soon. Now, I'm not here saying that while you need to make $1 million words or use to come up with $1 million words. It is a question, at least for Jarvis Certified, they expect you to have at least generated 20,000 words. Now, let's think about it, what it means. It means that if you are, let's say, writing an article, a long form article of 1,000 words, it basically says that you do need about like 20 articles. Of course, one thing you need to be smart on that, and I believe you are, is that it talks about personally generated. In other words, you could have an article of 1,000 words, but you ask Jarvis to come up with, say, 3,000 words, and then you just separate the words that you want to retain and remove those you don't want. So in that case, it is 3,000 words. So you just keep track on that. Like when I first started using Jarvis during my first week, I generated about 7,000 words. And it's about 7 articles. So I can share with you that it is possible to do that. However, you need to have a plan to first of all come up with a 20,000 words requirement. So that means before you take the exam, you need to be an active user of Jarvis, 20,000 words as a minimum. So think about how to make it happen. I think this is the very, very important one. Like this is the one that it seems to be easiest to fulfill. At the same time, 20,000 words can be a big deal. The second thing is that there is a content generation of, like, please read carefully, so I missed this particular one. It says that generate content at least once inside each of the 50 plus templates. What does it mean? It's not talking about generate one piece of content using one template. Now, I missed the mark of each of the 50 plus template, and that's why I got query from Jarvis team yesterday. So I need to fulfill this requirement. So what it says is that there are 50 plus templates in Jarvis, ranging from SEO, emails, ads, long form assistance, etc., etc. So you need to work on each of these templates on Jarvis, and at least use the features to generate contents or ask Jarvis to generate contents. Now, the fact is that once you have generated the content, what happens is that the history will document the usage of that particular template, and Jarvis team will check on that. So that would take a bit of time, especially for me, my experience, because I'm only using certain templates. It means that I need to go through all the templates, which took me about 2 to 3 hours, like in a conservative way. I would say about 2 to 3 hours. So just factor that 2 to 3 hours time to satisfy this requirement. So the first requirement, I think every one of us should easily satisfy, is the 20,000 words. And then of course, generate content at least once inside each of the 50 plus templates. Now this will take a little bit more time, okay? Now, the third thing is that you need to create a recipe of your own. Don't just copy from the feature one. So you need to come up with a recipe. So what is the recipe about? The recipe is actually a pre-programmed checklist of, let's say, when you want to write a blog post, these are the things you need to do. If you are writing an email, these are the things you need to do. If you are writing a sales page, these are the things you need to do. So recipe is you need to create one of your own. So what I did myself is that I created a link, a blog, how to create a brief on how to, let me recall, how do I create an article to be posted on LinkedIn. So because I'm specializing in LinkedIn, so I created a recipe. Does this sound like very similar to the recipe for blog posts? To some extent, yes. However, I have my own methodology. If you have been following my channel, you know this. Like I have certain ways to create a LinkedIn articles. So you can actually check my previous contents in this channel or on this channel so that you know what I'm talking about. So you just need to create one. Don't just copy command by command. You need to create yours. The same thing about which one, like what likely you would use on Jarvis, and then you create a recipe based on that. It's very simple, isn't it? Well, as long as it shows effort that it is your own methodology, your own process, Jarvis will be okay. And Jarvis never query my recipe, by the way. Jarvis is only, the Jarvis team is only questioning the 50 plus temporary requirement, okay? So after you have done this, then of course, the next thing is Jarvis Bootcamp. Now, there is like a lot of people when they first sign up for Jarvis, they ask like, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I actually move this from one place to the other? There are so many questions here and there. So here's one thing, Jarvis Bootcamp is the place for you to get the answers because it is a comprehensive model to show you how to use Jarvis. And this is comprehensive. I would say it's comprehensive because you can get a lot of answers that you may be thinking from reading the book, by going through the bootcamp. And by the way, the bootcamp is like an ebook or maybe an e-course because it provides you with step-by-steps. So it is pretty easy to go through that. And my point is that you need that as one of the requirements. So once again, what are the requirements in order to get this nice, beautifully package certificate? You need to, first of all, number one, 20,000 words, okay, generated by Jarvis. Number two, you need to have the one piece of content. Each of the 50 plus template is generate content at least once inside each of the 50 plus template. So let's say you have got 50 templates, you need to generate contents for each template once, or in total you need to generate contents 50 times. Okay, got it? So it's not like one piece of content on one template, it's one piece of content on one template, and then you have to complete all the templates, right? Okay, one recipe created by yourself, and then go through the Jarvis Bootcamp. Because why Jarvis Bootcamp? Is because then you will have this certificate exam. Okay, you need to go through this exam. There are altogether 42 questions. You need to achieve an 85% pass multiple times. So it means that if the first time you didn't pass, it's okay. You will be able to have multiple attempts until you get through the 85%. How do you know you get through the 85%? It is at the end of you complete the exam. Jarvis will tell you what is your pass, what is your score. So if it's 85 and above, what Jarvis will say is, okay, then you just need to wait for review, because what happens is that Jarvis will then have the team go through other requirements, and if you have been able to satisfy all the requirements, as I said earlier, then Jarvis will say you're passed, you'll be getting the certificate from Jarvis team. Okay, so they will do it batch by batch. In my case, I expect to get the cert next week. I hope they will accept what I said here, and then they accept what I have done here of the 50 plus temporary requirement, and then I should be able to get the cert in a couple of days' time. Okay, so I just want to go through this so that you have some idea of this certification. So now let's talk about this. Why would Jarvis want to create certified practitioner? So this is a very interesting question I have in my mind, because recently I was talking to a few of my business partners. I found out that one of the biggest creatures of mankind is this thing called certificate. Now, let me go back to some questions you might have. One, imagine you were primary school kids before. I presume you were. Imagine some of you are, if you're watching, if you're university graduates, or if you know someone who is a university graduate, is it true that the outcome of getting through the university degree is to get the degree certificate? So what does it mean when you receive the certificate? What's the emotion attached to that piece of paper? How do you present this piece of paper to the world? So these are a lot of things that you need to think about when it comes to this certificate thing. And if I have time in future, I know I'm already hitting 15 minutes. So I promise you, if I have time in future, I'm happy to go back to share with you why certification is such a powerful process to get people stick to the product or the services you are using, because there's something called loyalty. Okay, so I'm going to leave my video, the current one, and here, and just want to show you that to pass the exam is not hard. It's to get the requirements, like these tedious requirements, to be completed, it will take some time. So don't rush to go through the exam, pass it, because even though you have passed the exam, it doesn't mean that you get certified. You still need to go through these requirements. Does it make sense? Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video, and once again, as if you want to watch my other videos on Jarvis, make sure that you go there, because on my video you will see a tab that actually says that I have a Jarvis channel for you to consume other similar contents. And of course, if you love what I'm sharing, make sure you subscribe to my channel and press the bell of notification, so that whenever I have a new video up on this channel, you will be notified. Okay, so once again, thank you for watching. Jack Wong here signing off. If you are taking the exam, all good wishes. I'll see you in the other side, on the other side.